I, 30F, have told my husband, 41M, that I want a divorce and he's ignoring it. For context, we've been married for close to 6 years and have 2 children, 10 and 2, and own a home together. I've always been quite organized. I like a routine and things to be done or planned. My husband is much more mellow, and for years I thought it was a healthy balance. However, especially since we had our youngest, I've been feeling more and more emotionally unfulfilled by him. He's not done anything divorceable, in and of itself, but the cycle of my handling all the domestic, financial, and parenting responsibilities has gone too far. I've asked him 1,000 times to step up and help more, and he says, "I'll do more," and does an evening of washing up before reverting to normal. I finally snapped after I spent my day off. I work full-time, sorting through his immense pile of dirty laundry. There were legit COVID masks around 3/4 way down, so I'm guessing it's at least 5 years worth of shit he hasn't managed to bring down for me to wash. If you want to understand how it got so bad, this was the hill I decided some time ago to die on. I asked him repeatedly to bring down the laundry, as I do all of it, and I wanted him to take responsibility. It turns out he's just been buying new clothes when he has nothing clean, which means there is zero storage. Now it's all been laundered, which I raised to him. He just said, "I'm sure you'll find somewhere to put it," and I lost it. I told him how lonely it is being his partner. How I do all the work, I pay the bills, I sort the childcare and activities and make sure everyone is okay. I don't know what I expected, but he said nothing at all. Just stared into the distance. I asked if he had anything to say at all, and he said no. And I told him I don't want this anymore. I don't deserve to be so unhappy. I told him I want a divorce. This is where I need advice, really. He didn't respond. He just carried on silently standing there. After about 15 minutes, he left the room, and he hasn't said anything about it since. This was a week ago, and I've been polite but nothing more, while he's been asking about my day and general chatter. I'm so confused. He's not making an effort for the relationship I wanted when I married him, but he's also not acknowledging that I've told him I'm done. I don't know how to address this further. I don't have any desire to argue, or to talk to a brick wall about my feelings again. But it feels like he's pretending it didn't happen. How do I move forward? Edit. Thank you for your responses. I was never looking for permission. I think for me, a decision regarding a relationship is typically a conversation. It helps to be reassured by strangers that I don't need to wait for that conversation in order to move forward. I'll be spending Monday reaching out to divorce lawyers to start future-proofing for myself and my children. Thank you for providing the support I needed to do that with a little more confidence in myself. You either continue as you have been doing, or you move forward with the divorce. He's obviously not going to change, so either accept this as your life or start taking steps to change it. Unless we're missing something in most places, you don't need permission to begin the divorce process, so why does it matter that he won't acknowledge it? If that's what you want, then start taking steps to make it happen. You start divorce proceedings. Are you still in the same bedroom? Talking about your day with him, making meals. Stop. Move into the kids' room. If need be, but be obvious, and start separating your life from his. I, 21F, accidentally saw something on my GFs. 21F, chat that I can't unsee. I, 21F, wanted to look something up on chatgpt, and since I don't have it on my phone, I used my girlfriend's, 21F, phone. While doing that, I accidentally saw a chatgpt conversation from about a week ago. Around the same time, she suggested we should break up. She's currently in a very stressful phase of her life, and we had been arguing more than usual, so at the time she said the idea of breaking up came from feeling overwhelmed. She took it back immediately and said she doesn't actually want me out of her life. In the chatgpt conversation, she talked about being unsure whether we're compatible communication-wise. That already hurt, but what I can't get out of my head is the fact that she didn't just ask whether she should break up with me, she also asked how to find someone more compatible. That part makes it feel less like a moment of stress or venting, and more like she was mentally exploring a future without me, or even preparing for it. Ever since I saw that, I feel anxious and insecure, and I keep wondering if she's already emotionally halfway out of the relationship. The problem is that I can't tell her I saw this, because it would sound like I was snooping through her phone, which I wasn't intentionally doing. But I also don't know how to bring up my need for reassurance without revealing why I suddenly feel this way. What do you think this specific question says about her mindset? And how can I ask for clarity or reassurance without admitting what I saw? Edit. Thank you all for taking the time to write something. Just to be clear, my only problem with what I saw is that she asked how to find someone else who is more compatible. She's worried about your lack of communication compatibility. She's getting advice from chat instead of talking to you. You're trying to find answers from strangers instead of talking with her. Maybe she has a point. Personally, the abundant use of AI would be enough for me to head out. Two brain-dead, AI-reliant idiots. You deserve each other. I, 24F, was gifted a trip by my boyfriend, 23M, but the trip was cancelled because his parents didn't want us to go. I feel betrayed. How do I move forward? Hi everyone. I don't have many friends who I feel I could turn to for advice, so that's why I'm posting here. For Christmas, my boyfriend planned a day trip upstate for us to go this Monday. It was going to be this amazing trip where we went to different restaurants and did different activities, and I was looking forward to it. So my big thing was like, why don't I just book a hotel room for us for the day before, so that way we don't have to be traveling multiple hours upstate on the day of. We agreed, and I got a fairly cheap hotel room, but with reason everything it still ended up being $100. I know that's fairly cheap, but me and my partner are currently not in our dream or permanent jobs, so even though it's not a ton of money, it's still not pocket change. So we've been dating for 4 years, and his parents, for whatever reason, have this negative outlook on us going away. So we were planning all this behind their backs, because we knew what they would be like. But something we said tipped them off, and they found out and decided to confront my boyfriend about it. I should mention that he is currently getting his doctorate, so he still relies on his family for financial support. They have no moral qualms about it. They just said that if we decide to go through with it, that they will have a lesser opinion of me specifically. This hurt me so much because I have tried my best to be the best partner and daughter-in-law I could possibly be. We're planning on getting engaged soon, and they knew this would hurt me and that it would waste my money, but they still manipulated my partner, and there's nothing we can really do about it without irreparably damaging some relationship. I just feel angry and upset. And because this happened today, I still feel a little upset at my partner because I feel like he didn't stand up for me, but I know for a fact just because he didn't want this to affect how his family viewed me. I don't know how to go forward from this. I don't know how I could face his family again, knowing that this was very malicious on their part. They bring up no qualms except the fact that we lied to them. Which we did, I'm not denying that, but I just know they would never have allowed us to go / that they would manipulate my boyfriend into not going. Maybe I'm just overreacting, and maybe it's just because it just happened, but I need to know what other people think. Thank you. You feel like he didn't stand up for you because he didn't stand up for you. You're 23 and 24 and need permission from his parents for a day trip? Absurd. Grab a girlfriend and take the trip. He can't stand up to his parents is a big red flag. He also owes you a gift. My 26F boyfriend, 31M, defaulted, stopped paying rent without telling me. I finally found out why my boyfriend stopped contributing towards rent this past October. To add backstory. Before he officially moved in, he said he would pay half of rent and utilities, but then when we moved in, he didn't pay anything for months until I brought it up. After that, he had been sending over his share, $200, for months without prompting up until October when he suddenly stopped. At the time, I thought he had just forgotten and didn't bring it up. The months started to go by without any money sent my way, and it finally came to a head this past Tuesday. We had been talking about finances, and he was telling me how he only had his car note and students' loans left to pay off. I looked at him and asked what happened with his share of the rent he was supposed to be sending me. He looked sheepish and admitted that back in October, his dad had told him that his Parent Plus loan was in default and he, my boyfriend, needed to take of it. My boyfriend then proceeded to say that he had made the decision to forego contributing towards rent and focus on his defaulted student loans, all without telling me. Him not telling has been really eating me up inside. He apologized and said that he had been worried about talking to me about it at the time, and when I asked why he hadn't told me in the months between, he said it had genuinely slipped his mind. I don't really know what to do or how to proceed with him. I tried telling him he had to move out, but he kept saying it was one mistake, and he would do anything to regain my trust. I don't know how to get past this. I feel like he would have kept mooching off me indefinitely had I not brought it up, but he says he was planning on telling me and paying me back in February. I'm really struggling on how I move past this, as it's not the first time he's taken advantage of me financially. Does anyone have any advice or has been in his shoes and could offer insight? Edit. For those asking about how I could let it slide for months. I had my apartment before we got together and can handle it financially. Him moving in was because he got told to move out by his last roommate and needed a place to live. Fucking run. He is unilaterally deciding to not pay rent and to hide his finances from you. Dishonesty is key here. Also, he can't even pony up $200 for rent. The hell is up with that? This isn't one mistake, it's months of lying by omission. He made a financial decision that affected you without even telling you. That's not a partner, that's a leech. How is his portion of rent and utilities only $200? He should be grateful to only pay that. He's a mooch. You are his latest victim. If he is willing to do this to you, now it's only going to get worse in the future.